All right, this is definitely a tag team effort, and it wouldn't be possible to have our complete makeover without our makeup artist, Athena. So we want to again look at our before picture of Chris. Sorry, Chris, but we need to look at this. And all right, Athena, tell us what you noticed when you first saw Chris.
Well, I just felt like she washes out. So there's a few things we did. I tinted her eyebrows so they matched her new hair color. I tinted her eyelashes black.
Okay.
Because she has really, really light blonde brown eyelashes, and even when you put mascara on, your lashes are that light that you still get that little rim close to the lash line of the light color. So they are tinted all the way down to the base, nice shiny black lashes.
And there we have the new Chris.
There we have her, yeah. And so I wanted to give her more color to pop her eyes and to really make those baby blues sing. Look right here to this camera. There you go.
Right there. Okay, so let's talk about those baby blues.
Well, see, now you really see them. The hair color changed, and so that definitely helps to pop them in the cut, but looking at her eyes, they really do pop now. Not only does the color pop in her eyes, but the shape. And so what I wanted to do is, Chris, like a lot of women, as time goes on, we start to get a little bit of a heavier hooded eye, and I have that problem, and it's horrible. So a lot of women suffer from this. So
we all have it, Chris.
I know.
We all have it.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give her more shape and definition in the crease, because in her before picture, we were seeing a lot of, a lot of area from the brow down to the crease line. It's just, instead of having that nice definition, I wanted to give it back to her. So close your eyes for me.
So what you're doing right now is a secret for all women, no matter what color your eyes are.
Unless you have really deep set eyes, then you wouldn't do these tricks, because they would, obviously it would make them deeper set.
Right, and we'll do another segment on that another time.
Yes.
Okay.
And so what I wanted to do is, you want to give her, more of a crease, reinvent that crease that has changed. So whenever you're doing the crease color itself, we're going to go higher than what her natural crease is.
Do we have to use a certain color, or it's always a darker color?
Well, you want to go with a color that's more of a little darker than flesh tone. So it's not like we would do like a bright, blue or anything like that, because then she would get the Mimi eye.
Right. That would be a whole nother segment.
So what we want to do is, I did a color called Olivia, and it's kind of a khaki tone, and I went off of Olivia because she has this beautiful green on, but also her coloring in general looks good with it.
Okay.
So you want to start at the outer edge of the eye and do light little feather strokes in towards the inner part of the eye. And it's really important the brush you choose to apply the color as well, because if you have a really wide tipped brush, you're not going to have as good of a line here that you need to have. So by, again, feathering the color outside in and not doing this windshield wiper effect, because if you do that, you're going to get too much color on the inside of the eye. I so do the windshield wiper effect. Yeah, a lot of women don't do that, because again, that'll bring your eyes closer set instead of making them wider and more almond shaped. So
is this called a crease brush? Is that
yes, this is a squirrel crease brush.
Okay.
So it's short hair with long hair in the center, and that really is the best shape of a brush. You don't want to use one that's too big or too small. So we have our initial color here, Olivia, and then I took a darker one. Like this, Olivia is a soft matte green.
Okay.
I took a darker shadow, which is called Espresso, and we went right at the outer edge of the lash line, and I carried that up just into her actual natural crease.
So you're blending it right into it.
Blending it right in. And again, above her natural crease and in the natural crease. So those two colors together, what they do is they work to give her softer shading.
Okay.
Now it's really important that you have the highlight color, and close your eyes. I did a color called Zara right here on the inner part of the eye. So when she opens her eyes, open up, see how you have that little peekaboo of highlight? That helps to pop that area out. So again, working together with the proper shading, the right colors, the right tools.
So you used
really
3 colors.
Oh, I used like 5.
I know.
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Well, that was my point that I was going to ask Athena. Can people like us
do it with 3?
Well, can you have too many colors?
You can't have too many colors and too many colors that don't work together. I mean, makeup is an art.
I mean, you're a professional makeup artist, so I give you...
Makeup is an art.
You can go the extra.
If she came to me and wanted an everyday look, we could create something similar to this with scaling back and maybe using 1 or 2 less colors.
Okay.
But since I really wanted to bring her eyes out, I went all out. We have 5.
Okay.
But so essentially what you want to do is you get your shading and keep this crease color a little more in the matte tone.
Okay.
And then the color that's your highlight needs to be light reflective. And on her brow bone, I used the color called Hope, which I use a lot on brow bones because they really are, it's a beautiful color, it adds lift, but it's not shimmery. Because if you add a shimmery...
You don't want shimmery up there.
Right. This is more of a sateen. You either want to do a matte or like a satin.
Okay.
Because the shimmer, what that's going to do is it's going to bring that area back out again because it's light reflective.
Now I hear, as women age, as we all age, that you should stay away from the shimmeries.
Right, and that's a thing that I hear a lot from clients.
Right.
But it's what the ingredient is. There's an
Okay.
ingredient called bismuth oxychloride, and that is what's generally in eyeshadows. That it will settle and make fine lines look more pronounced, so
Okay.
it can make the eyes look crepey.
Say it again.
Bismuth oxychloride.
Bismuth oxychloride.
And it
You're going to
does-
get so many calls,
I know.
people calling and saying, what am I supposed to stay away from?
And it doesn't matter, you know, what brand of eyeshadow. Almost everyone uses that because it's a really inexpensive shimmer.
But if you can try to stay away from it?
Right, it
Okay.
lays on the skin differently. I don't use it in any of my eyeshadows, blushes, or foundations because I don't like the way that it amplifies fine lines. So
Okay.
what I have in mind is just a little bit of mica, and the mica will reflect light, but it doesn't make the eyes look crepey.
Okay.
So a lot of times women, to stay away from those shimmers, they'll go with all mattes. Then they look really washed out and like, you know, there's no life or
Right.
spark. So you really need to find a nice
Well, let's
happy
bring
medium.
some life to Chris because
Yes.
we're running out of time here. But
And then under her eyes,
Yes.
see that little pop of green shadow right
Uh-huh.
there? That makes all the difference in the world. That little tiny pop of color, it's totally different than everything else we put on top, but it
Okay.
just is kind of makes her eyes sing that much more.
all right, Chris, let's bring you to life because you haven't talked. You've just been smiling, looking beautiful. So what did you think when the girls told you what they were going to do?
I was a little nervous at first, but I have total faith in, you know, Michelle, and definitely faith in, you know, Zathina. They did a great job. It looks, you know, darker. I'm glad it wasn't, you know, too dark at one time, like, you know, Michelle said. So I'm real happy.
And now, as you've gone home and you've sort of done this yourself, are you finding that it's easy or easier than you thought to do?
Easier, yes.
Okay.
Definitely easier. Just kind of wash and wear a little round brush and, you know, mold, and then you go.
You feel good?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
you look great.
Thank you.
You know, I think it's really neat when we learn tips from you guys. One last thing, let's talk about the lip color that you used.
The lip color, it's just, she actually has a permanent lip color on, and it's more in the pinky family. I wanted to take away all the pink and go with more of a kind of a corally, orangey
And
tone.
it looks like you were able to do that.
I did, yeah, and all I did is I did no lip liner, like on the edge of the lip. I put a little bit of a kind of a corally lip gloss on, and then it's called Spicy Coral, and then I did a sienna lip liner over it just to kind of help buff down some of the pink, but that's it. There's not a lot of work in the lips. They're just a little like lustrous shine, and that was it.
Well, it looks like it's not going to be a lot of work from here on out because you guys did such a great
Yeah,
job.
she's ready to go out now.
All right, we'll go out because you look fantastic.
I'm going to.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Zathina, Michelle, Renee. Thank you. You guys are awesome. And we have all of the information. I know that everyone's going to want to know more about what we're supposed to stay away from with the eyeshadow. What's it called again?
Bismuth oxychloride.
And I know people are going to want to get the fiber stuff that Michelle Renee was talking about. So you guys are going to get some phone calls today. You can get a hold of them. Their numbers are right there on your screen. Michelle Renee, 623-399-6344. Zathina, 623-561-6966. They're in the same area now, so you guys can go see them both at the same time. Have a party.